Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Art School Rejects, and it's what episode? Episode 35, man.
Damn.
We got a special episode. It's Summer JAM5, and we have special guests, Some Jerk. He doesn't know, but this is the time where you say like. I think he just died.
I'm alive.
Okay.
He came
Thank
back.
you for joining us, Some Jerk.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Super famous. Big get for us. It's a big get for us.
Yeah.
I know I'm on my way to Tokyo. I'm in the airport. It's 13 a.m. So we gotta.
Yeah. Thank you for.
And we have resident music man,
Yeah.
Marcel.
Just plain old Maciel. Thank you.
Plain old, just vanilla flavored, whatever.
Damn, hey, nothing wrong with liking vanilla, man. It's a flavor.
Yeah, love vanilla.
International DJ star, Some Jerk, and then also that guy Maciel.
Yeah, he's our senior music analyst.
That's true. That is
You
true.
know,
He's an Art School Reject senior music correspondent.
I correspond with music.
AKA he's been on every single Summer Jams.
Some jams. That's right.
We write each other notes.
Yeah, he is the guy behind the guy. All right, so before we get into our actual playlist, let's get one thing out there. Recently, Pusha T came out with a new album.
It's fire.
It's called Daytona. I do agree. It's fire as well. However, he has this one track called Infrared, which is the last track on the actual album, which seems to have stirred the pot with certain artists out there.
Mm-hmm.
Certain Canadian.
Certain sensitive people.
Yep. In good old fashion, the artist has clapped back. Pra, pra. Yeah, I feel like we're back in the 90s. Like, someone might get shot, but most likely not. Well, nah, man. That's really like America versus Canada, if anything.
Damn.
It's like the true North versus like North America.
It's like South Park all over again.
Yep.
In Canada.
Before we get into it, we're gonna play the tracks because Marcel hasn't even listened to anything, so he's totally unbiased.
Been sleeping.
I know Carlos and I have gone through like back and forth at it.
A little. Not really.
We're on opposite ends. We didn't really go into it, but we've stated our claims to our sets on this.
My set forever will be Vatos Locos.
I'm not gonna say anything like that because I'm black, so I don't want to be gang affiliated with anybody.
You already have strikes against you.
Yeah, exactly. So, John, I'm pretty sure John has heard it. So, I'm assuming you have made your choice.
Who's John?
On it.
Come on, Some Jerk.
I mean, I have
Some Jerk. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You gotta bleep that out. You can't use his government name.
Artist formerly known as John.
Yep. Actually, no. Wait, real question. Like, you can probably bleep this out, Carlos. Like,
Okay.
you want to be called Some Jerk or John?
I don't care as long as you call me.
Oh, now it's okay to kill baby. Niggas looked at me crazy like I really killed a baby. Salute Ross, cause the message was pure. He see what I see when you see Wayne on tour. Flash without the fire. Another multi-platinum rapper trapped and can't retire. Niggas get exposed, I see the cracks and I'm the liar. Shit, I've been exposed, I took the crack and built the wire. Now who do you admire? Your rap songs is all trying my patience. Them prices ain't real without inflation.
So we need to fact check that.
That didn't seem that bad. Did he specifically say this is about Drake?
Oh, there's a whole thing about ghostwriters. So
Yeah.
Drake got outed like a year or two ago about like using ghostwriters and shit.
Uh-huh.
So I'm guessing maybe he saw that line and like got a little like. And he's like, yeah, why are you talking about me?
Like, he does talk about Baby and Wheezy.
Okay, yeah.
He did. I mean, he went after Baby very specifically.
The nerve,
Yeah. But anyway, you run the Drake track from the beginning, so Moss can get the full.
I got the Genius page open as well.
Okay.
Oh shit.
So if you rebuke me for working with someone else on a couple of V's, what do you really think of the nigga that's making your beats? I've done things for him I thought that he never would need. Father had to stretch his hands out and get it from me. I pop style for 30 hours then let him repeat. Now you popping up with the jokes, I'm dead, I'm asleep. I just left from over by y'all putting pen to the sheets. Tired of sitting quiet and helping my enemies eat. Keep getting temperature checks, they know that my head overheats. Don't know why the fuck you niggas listen.
That's about it. Jesus Christ. Hey.
Really? That was hard.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm from a different era.
Hold on. Before I even continue saying, so Mas.
Oh man.
I know you know you have to digest this. What is your honest opinion at this point?
He snapped on this shit. Goddamn. I mean, I like Push. Push was good, but fucking wow.
Right.
But it's like it's like the whole Meek Mills thing though. Like whenever Drake gets a thing for somebody, like he'll just like fucking poke until the dude's like in submission.
Mm.
And then I don't know if you guys like caught wind. Like he actually invoiced Good Music for like $100,000.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was fake. That's a fake invoice. That's just more so for show.
You don't think he actually sent it out?
I feel like he's the type of dude that would do it though. Like,
I mean, all invoices are fake until like you pay it.
Yeah, true. But like, if you dissect the actual invoice and you pick up the numbers, you see like the invoice date is the invoice number is the same date as
Shane did like the Zapruder film on like.
Oh, bro, of course, bro. I went in on this.
John, you said that he's on that Cool Keith flow.
Yeah.
Because he sounded like he was rambling. Like he doesn't have any real sense of rhythm. He's just like, like, come on, bro. He has no original sense of rhythm. He's got to copy every other person to get any sort of delivery.
Damn.
And also somebody wrote that for him.
Flames.
They wrote his diss track for him.
That's also a good point though. Like when Drake was first like on the come up, like a buddy of mine, she was just like, oh okay, all right, Drake, like shut up, you're Canadian, you're like copying like Lil Wayne's flow and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's a good point.
He doesn't really have a spine. You need someone else's style to like have anything to go on. But whatever, I'm just a hater, What do I know?
Nah, man, that's good. We're talking music, so
I feel like people have said that like a lot before. The dude's a bit of like a culture vulture, where he just sort of like these things, latches onto it, copies it, and then moves on to the next big fucking thing at the moment.
Exactly, like when he did Patois for like a week.
yeah, exactly. He did Patois
Come on, man. How can anybody take that shit seriously?
Did Patois signed that signed Boy Better Know to like fucking OVO or whatever.
Yeah, he became a grime bear for a bit.
Yeah. Became like a grime MC for like 2 fucking weeks.
Okay, so this is where I'm coming from. Like peak Push is like better than anything that like peak Drake. Like I'm still playing the We Got It for Cheap Volume 2 mixtape. Like right now in 2018, like I play that on a regular basis.
Be the cool, roof off the drop, neck up the top. Look at me, Jack in the box. You acting a lot. You ain't big, you ain't pocket. We only respect J Prince for rapping a lot. Your reign on the top, never quote him. I ain't know him. If you ain't kissed his mama, how the fuck you ride for him? Your dick eating niggas probably wish you died for him. And I admire this work, but I ain't never cried for him. Hoping the dead blow him up. Maybe this will blow him up. 150K every time Push is showing.
I'm a fairly like recent Push convert, so like I only really caught on to him like with like King Push, Darkest Before Dawn.
Right.
Hip hop is like still kind of like a newish kind of thing to me.
Hip hop?
Carlos,
yeah.
Not everybody's 50 years old.
Yeah. Oh shit.
He was the first person to breakdance, so you got to listen to him.
No, I mean like beforehand I was like a rocker and like a fucking metal kid, so
yeah.
I feel you.
Right on. But as you're saying though, Carlos, like you're saying that peak Push is better than peak Drake. I have to definitely argue against that for the fact that they're definitely, the sounds are totally different. Push came out in, when was that? Like the early 2000s?
Yeah, early 2000s.
Early 2000s, so that was coming off of the 90s, Eminem, Neptunes. Yeah, really and truly, when it comes to rapping and sound like of being like kind of hard, this is not really something that you expect from Drake.
I ain't even one this.
So we obviously we know that Push has the chops, you know.
Yeah.
He has it without a doubt. We've seen that Drake went up against Meek. Meeks is a good rapper. Obviously, at the time, Drake had the wane of being a lot more popular and most likely having these rhymes on Decky. Now, I think Drake has he's stepping into a different arena, something that he is not, 100% like seasoned for against an actual seasoned rapper. I mean, sure, it's not like he's going after like Jay-Z or Nas or anybody like that, like those older heads. So this is when it gets interesting because like this might just turn into, for us, the fans, a bunch of really good music.
Fucking battle royale kind of shit.
Exactly. All right. So yeah, man. So that's
spent some time with Drake and Pusha beef. We have not even talked about our Summer Jams playlist.
Oh wait, I didn't get to say anything about Pusha T. I listened to half the album and then put something else on.
Okay.
That's my review.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get to the so-called diss track. So anyways,
moving on. Give it a second to like because it's actually pretty good.
John's like, yo, off that.
Anyway, 4 out of 10. Next.
So
I mean, we don't have any of his album. Nobody put any Pusha tracks on the playlist, so that's saying something.
Just came out.
This is our Summer Jams playlist that we put together every year, basically so that you, the uninformed listener,
basic ass bitches,
you have no style, no flavor. We're giving this to you so that you can put on some jams during the summer and impress everybody.
Normie ass motherfucker.
Yeah. Where did you get all this good taste?
Hey, we got some garlic powder and some cumin and some paprika for your mayonnaise. You fucking
whoa.
Drinking normie.
You know what? Is Some Drake the first like straight white male that we've ever had on the podcast?
Whoa. That's you can't say that. That's a really bad word.
Check your privilege, Some Drake.
Straight white.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I even say?
Bro, that's equivalent to the N-word, bro.
What did I say? Mayonnaise?
No, Carlos is out here saying SWM. You can't be saying that.
I'm sorry if I disrespected you. I did not. It was not meant to be a slur. Straight white male.
Yeah. Whoa! You said it again. Guys, stop.
Yo. No. I'm trying to think. Have we ever had that?
Straight white man? I don't know.
What is Ryan Diaz? He's been on the show.
Oh, you guys have had Ryan Diaz on here?
His last name is Diaz. That should answer everything.
Oh shit!
Exactly.
So we know, obviously, me, Luis, like both of us are white Latinos.
Luis is like Scandinavian, trying to like mix in with us to like get Chicos. So come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
But he's from obviously he's like straight from Puerto Rico. We both speak Spanish. Like I'm just like straight white male. I think Some Drake, after 35 episodes, you might be the first. Congratulations. Is there a round of applause drop that we can do? Everybody just clap.
Hey, you did it. Woo!
You're making me clap for colonizers, man. What the
fuck? You're making me clap for colonizers. The reason why but
hey, you guys invited me here, okay?
No. I only thought of it because you were spouting off all of this spicy spices off the top of your head, and I was like, yo, you might be the most non-white white guy that I know.
If this had photos, I'd send you a photo of my spice rack. I have, not even exaggerating, probably 24 spices, and then in my cabinet I have like 8 more.
You need to put out an EP named 24 Spices.
Oh, man. That's like a callback. Actually, a callback to MF Doom.
Yep.
I don't really listen to MF Doom, so I don't know.
Oh, speaking of MF Doom, we have some MF Doom on the playlist. Okay, so this was one of the tracks that I added to the playlist. MF Doom recently did a what do you call it? Like a concept
collaboration?
Album? A collaboration. Yeah, like he normally does. Like he's done this with Danger Doom, and he did that with the
Madlib.
yeah. So this time he's did it with Sarface. Sarface, of course, is who is it? Esoteric and L7, and also Inspected Deck from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Wasn't L7 like a lesbian punk band in the 90s?
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. It's L7, which is a lesbian 7.
Yeah, pretend
There's only 4 of them.
Anyways,
they were in San Andreas.
Were they?
Yeah, they were in the San Andreas soundtrack. I'm looking at Discogs. It's 7L.
7L. Sorry. I think I got my lesbian punk bands mixed up with my underground, with my backpack hip hop. Which is no, hey, that's not that weird because like there used to be like a Lollapalooza festival that you would normally have like lesbian punk bands with.
Lilith Fair. It was called Lilith Fair.
I'm thinking of Lilith Fair. Maybe.
I know a lot of lesbians, bro.
Am I getting Lollapalooza mixed up with Lilith Fair?
That's up to my lesbians. You know who you are.
Lilith Palooza.
MF we the antidote. Lyrics, don't blow it, being heroic. Don't make me tell you again, stay stoic. Nowhere near the radar, way below it. Barely ever what they say they are, and they know it. Let them be what they wanna be. Proceed methodically, properly. Some gotta test periodically. Ironically, as far as humans, loyalty is an oddity. As far as being snakes, though, it probably be 2 out of 3.
That's a new one from Sarface and MF Doom. They actually collaborated before, but recently they just came out with like a full collaboration album.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe I missed this one.
Hey, you know what? I'm like new to the Sarface. I just got kind of hip to it this year.
No, I've never really heard of Sarface, but I've been like a pretty big Doom fan for like a couple of years.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like his whole output's been kind of like spotty like the last like few years. I mean, it's Doom, whatever. The dude's a fucking legend as it is, but like I've been kind of sleeping on like the new shit he's been putting out.
We've had MF Doom on other summer jams before, and I think a couple of them I remember saying that like, yeah, Doom is kind of phoning it in nowadays. But he comes correct on this album.
Okay, that's fucking promising as shit.
I think the best like compliment that you can give to MF Doom is something that in an interview with Mos Def, and I think Mos Def, he said something along the lines of like, MF Doom raps like I think. It's like that's like how my brain works. Like that's how he raps. Which is coming from Mos Def. I feel like that's like a good compliment.
Yeah.
That was great.
So we're on the rap tip. Let's listen to some rap. This is one that Some Jerk added.
Came home from another day of hard working, handed me his key, told me go look in the car. So I went out there to look for what he asked me to get. I was checking all the seats, but the only thing I saw was a bag of cocaine.
That's pretty fire.
This is a pretty solid album. I'm pretty into it.
I'm down with anybody that's also 5'9", because I know that it's like,
you know, the struggles.
Yeah, I know that it's like you're kind of an in-betweener person.
It's like you're tall. It's like you're not short, but you're not quite tall yet.
Exactly. It's like, and I feel like I always tell people like, if you're taller than me, you're tall. If you're shorter than me, you're short.
I think that's actually how it works for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check that whole album out because it's one of those like, you know, story from beginning to end sort of things, and every song is a chapter and all that, so it's pretty good. Also, in terms of Royce the 5'9", he just put out the I think Prime 2, PHRYME with DJ Premier like a month or so ago, maybe 2 months. Also very good.
I love Premier. That's old school.
Well, it's Royce the 5'9" and Premier, so definitely check it out.
Everybody's getting together and collaborating. Now you got MF Doom and Sarface, you got Royce the 5'9" and Premier. I love it.
They're teaming up against the young rappers.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They also want to make some money.
that is possibly the truth.
So on this podcast, the Summer Jams, like we play plenty of the Uzi Verts and the
a little pump though.
Yeah, well, there's a limit. We can only.
There's a limit. Oh, listen to you. There's only so young you can get. Apparently.
Yeah.
High school's all right. Middle school.
What about Tekashi 5'9"?
No.
I've still never even heard of that guy's music.
Fucking Tekashi 69 just reminds me of like fucking Mystical, just like shouting in everybody's faces, like, bro, calm the fuck down.
Don't compare him to Mystical. That's
Yeah, right.
that is, speaking of backpack rappers, this is brand new shit from ASAP Rock, which I put on the summer jams.
Wait, Rock or Rocky?
Both.
Appreciating since the joke off the line, still indigo stories and plot in the classic coconut bra. Procedural crime drama shows with holes in the plot and reminding clones there's more to coping than a nose full of snot. Old pros throw bows to the 808.
Definitely not ASAP.
You couldn't throw a rope over a baby gate. Bishop to Queen 4 and damn Daniels under ram skulls. Plan for Cloudy with a chance of anvils. Fever dreams of petted cells and jagged pills and frozen pipes.
Yeah, straight bars.
I mean, that's ASAP Rock. I mean, that's all he has.
That's all he has, really is
bars.
lyrics.
Like he's legitly like the dictionary rapping at you. You know.
I'm glad that he's still like it's 2018 summer, and he's still
20 years almost.
He's still putting, because he came out around a time where there was like a lot of backpack rap happening and a lot of like white college kids there was like Anticon came out with like Soul from Anticon and like Rhyme Sayers, and like there was a lot of shit that was popular back then, and he came out right around that time, and those dudes are not around anymore. I don't think. Maybe, but here ASAP Rock is, and he's still putting out bangers.
But I don't think he was from the Midwest, and all those labels and guys were all from the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ASAP Rock. He's from New York, right?
Is he?
Yeah,
I'm not really sure.
Looking
and he was on Def Jokes, so like, that says a lot.
He's from Long Island, according to Cogs.
He was on Def Jokes for a while, which was LP's label.
Exactly.
LP now, of course, one half of the legendary group
Run the Jewels.
Yeah, man, he's from New York, so he has that automatic rap flavor, you know.
Shane, earlier you said something that really bothered me. Can I tell you?
Oh,
yes.
Mills.
You said no. Look, it's important. You said run the Drake, and you were telling him to play the track. It made me squirm a little bit. I just wanted to point that out since Run the Jewels just came out. So
did I say Run the Drake?
You said Run the Drake.
Yeah.
Nice. I just made up a new rap group.
No.
Run the Drake. Damn. Is that
Run
it's like
Drake.
Killer Mike and Drake?
No. It's just Drake. It's just both Drake.
I need a one.
There's a fat Drake and a short Drake.
Yep. No, I think it'd be sick. They chop and screw Jape's like his songs to Run the Jewels beats.
And it's written by Killer Mike and LP, so it's actually half decent. Run the Drake. Now I'm behind this. This is total 180 right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also Drake is biracial too, right? So
Yeah. Damn. So he plays both sides.
Wow.
Right. Drake's mom is Canadian, so she's from the north, right? Drake's dad is from Memphis, Tennessee. So you got Run the Jewels. Fucking LP's from New York and Killer Mike's from Atlanta. You got the whole north-south thing going on in one person.
So it's many levels are happening.
All right, somebody go to my runthedrake.com real quick and we'll make this happen somehow.
I think our Summer Jams playlist is pretty cool because it's probably the only playlist that you can listen to ASAP Rock and listen to ASAP Rocky on the same playlist.
Is that a Moby sample?
It's actually Moby.
Yeah.
It's not a sample.
I'm
Oh,
done with
wow.
the Justin and fame. Pull up on your set, leave a stain. Gang. I tell them come fuck with the gang. I tell them don't fuck with the game. It's time to fuck up the whole gang. Come fuck with the mob. Shout out to the lords and the gods. In love with my bitch cause she bad. My eyes like the stars. I tell that bitch
That was Shane. You put that on the playlist.
Yeah, I did.
We can always count on Shane for putting up like a bunch of like like mainstream stuff.
Finish that sentence, please.
So wait, what do you say? You're talking
when it comes to commercial rap, when it comes to commercial mainstream rap, you're really reliable.
Oh,
Yes.
you know what? I do not take any offense to that.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. Legitly, that was my MO for this summer jams. I was just like, whatever sounded good to me, I just put it in.
Anything that sounded good on your car stereo FM.
Exactly.
Like
Not really.
97.
Not 97. No, but legitly, like I finished my playlist a long time ago. because I was like, I normally take forever. I was just kind of like relying more so of you guys to really come with the uniqueness, because I was just thinking about it. Most of our summer jams don't really sound like summer jams. They just really sound like what they are, where they're our favorite music of the time, That's why I was just like, you know what? Let me just put in like these hits are like, pretty popping right now.
There's summer jams if you're a snobby summer snobby summer jammer.
I disagree. I'm listening to nothing but jungle this summer, so fuck you guys.
Hell yeah.
You guys are making a comeback.
This is speaking of jungle.
Oh.
For you guys don't know what jungle is.
Bro, if they listen to summer jams, they know that we're all about it.
This has kind of a long intro, so
Damn, there's some straight amens.
Did that guy ever get paid?
That's the funniest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. That guy finally. There's no money in drum and bass. Come on, man.
That's War on Music.
Just pretend there's a lot of bass. There was a lot of bass just now.
Yes, that goes for everybody. Can't listen to summer jams on your headphones. You got to listen to it on a proper system. That was War on Music by Seba. We're all about that house jungle music on the summer jams.
Yep, the house jungle.
That is a story. I don't know if Subject knows the story, but me, like Jake, Shane, some other friends were at. Well, we're at Davie, Florida. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, we're at the OK Corral. Nah, man. What's that? Right. Roundup?
Roundup.
Is it okay? It's called Roundup.
You're familiar with Davie? It's like it's basically like
I lived there for 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. So like in like the heart of like South Florida, there's like a town that is strictly like in 1950.
Not 1950, the
1850.
Yeah.
And anyways, we were outside of a country western bar. I think there's a laser tag place right next door.
Yeah, I remember that. 100% arcade laser.
We were there for laser tag, and we were talking to some gentleman outside on the parking lot, and we were telling him like we started talking about music for some reason, and he was like, "Oh, I know that house jungle music."
Yo, he knew what was up. He said house jungle.
House jungle.
House jangle.
This is a Tarantula remix that I listened to recently.
Oh, nice.
Like pendulum tarantula?
That's what I was thinking. Tarantula.
Just vibe out to this.
Yeah.
Like that. Yes.
What's
that is
called?
Tarantula remix.
That is definitely house jungle.
That is definitely some house jungle.
Legitly. I think legitly
It's
you found it. He wasn't
Tarantula
lying.
Icarus remix.
All this time we thought this guy was talking shit.
Yo.
But he was actually onto something.
Yeah. Yeah. He was light years ahead.
That guy is Icarus. Don't you get it? He made that.
Yo.
Come to find out, that dude is from Davie, Florida. Yeah, I am not one of those like junglists that has their like nose in the air about Tarantula. You know what I'm talking about. Come on.
I wouldn't put it in my like top 10 or top 50 list.
Well, no, I mean that's going too far. But there's like definitely a lot of junglists out there that will kind of scoff at a song like Tarantula.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Jungleists are elitist, is what he's saying.
Masa, are you familiar with the original of that track?
No.
No. Okay. It is your standard like banger, club banger.
It's a song about arachnophobia. La tarantula, don't bite me, little
that
spider.
song it's Pendulum, but I think that it was mostly Fresh.
Yeah, it sounds very fresh.
It's like Pendulum featuring like DJ Fresh, who's from Bad Company. Bad Company actually recently just came out with a new album that is fucking fire, by the way. It's called Ice Station Zero. Bro, there's like one song specifically on the new album by Bad Company. It reminded me a lot of like Tarantula. Actually, it's called Ruckus. Hold on, let me try to find it.
You say you got a ticket for me, Mr. Officer. You say you're me across the road to send the dance. It's just a little problem for me, Mr. Officer.
I have to definitely hear that on some speakers because I'm guessing to me that song sounds like you'd really need the bass element.
Yeah,
that goes for like every song.
Low end is important.
A lot of people, in my experience, from teaching music production or even just playing music, a lot of people don't like bass, believe it or not. They feel like it's a little too much. Yeah, I think a lot of people are just like afraid of living or something, There's too much energy in this physical. I think that's what it is. It's a physical experience, and they can't take it.
I'm definitely like so far away from that because even like within like the dubstep community or the jungle community, like people really fell in love with mid range and a lot of like weird noises, like laser noises and stuff. But like they miss like the most important part of the music is the low end.
I agree. Can I tell you my theory on that?
Go for it.
The low end theory.
Okay, so my theory stems from when I first started DJing in 2007. So it's an 11-year-old theory.
All right.
Basically, a lot of venues were quick to be like, "Oh yeah, we've got dubstep, we've got this, blah blah blah," but they were like dive bars and sports bars and things. Mm-hmm. So when you would play a mallet track or a DMZ track, it sounded like you were playing it on a cell phone.
Yeah.
So then if you went and you played like Koki or like some like more bro steppy stuff, they could at least hear the mid range.
Uh-huh.
So I think over the course of a couple of years, that's a really big reason why bro step and rhythm and all that sort of stuff took off, is that you can hear it on any system because it's mostly mid range.
Gotcha. I never heard that before.
Really?
I've never. No, you. I
told you that in my car, 2010, outside of laundry. You said it was the most profound moment of our friendship.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
It didn't matter.
The sun was setting. It was like I remember mostly the mood, but not specifically the words. It was more.
But I think it also carried over in a more modern way because like in South Florida now, there's a lot of what I call hippie bass, which is this like noodly. Bleepy bloopy, like I don't know how to like noodly sort of sounds. They don't really care about mid range. They only care about these like bubble sounds. Like if you guys ever listen to like Yeti or stuff like that, some of it's all right, but
shows with Nora.
I think the point of this is like club promoters, sound guys that didn't get murdered somehow by the Fugees. Step up your fucking system, your cabinets. Like, really invest in some fucking sound, guys.
I mean, I think it's gotten better overall. Like, for example, PRL Dive Bar in Hollywood now has a QSC sub, which is actually a really good, expensive sub. So, certain venues, surprisingly, are picking it up. But the damage has already been done. We already have bro stuff and rhythm and fucking wook bass and all this shit. So,
yeah. Did you say wook or wolf?
Oh yeah, wook bass.
Wook, WOOK.
Yeah, it's the noodly hippie shit he was talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were like woke as in like.
No. It's like the kind of shit that burners listen to.
Yep, exactly.
Is it like Bass Nectar? I feel like that's
precisely.
Yeah.
He's their Jesus or whatever.
Shout out to Lauren or whatever.
Cheese Nectar.
I'm down with like the jump up drum and bass more than anybody. Recently saw DJ Hype and DJ Hazard. Here in San Francisco, they did not give people what they wanted. No, this is actually good because everybody went in there. A lot of people, not me, because I watched before. I did some a little pre-prep for the party, and I watched their Let It Roll set from last year, and they did a set at Let It Roll, which is this huge like drum and bass festival in Croatia. This is a massive thing. There was like thousands of people there. It was like
60,000 people.
It was like their stage was like the Super Bowl halftime show.
God damn.
Like, I'm not even exaggerating. It was like on that level for DJ Hype and DJ Hazard. So much smaller thing happening in San Francisco the other night. I'm glad that the system was proper though. They didn't slouch on that. But a lot of people went in there expecting that they were going to play like some 94, like some classic jungle shit. And they did not do that, number one. And they also did not play like Mr. Happy and like the bangers that Hazard is known for. And what they would do is they would play like 15 seconds of it because everybody knows that like, I know you're waiting for this. And then they would just like cut it into like some new like dub plate or whatever that, that we've never heard, which I appreciate.
Wait, Mr. Happy, is that like my favorite drum and bass?
If it was your favorite, wouldn't you know it?
No, I just don't know the name. I think it is.
Yeah, it's this one right here.
Yes. That's it. Because I remember I still have it on my phone to this day because Carlos, I think you gifted it to me for one of my birthdays.
Oh, nice.
Or some shit
was
like
it the
that.
ringtone or something?
No, man. It's the actual song. So, like, legitly, like, I can't play that song when I'm driving.
You'll crash.
Oh my god.
It's going crazy.
No, we can't have you doing that. Yeah. It's not driving music.
It is perfect driving music.
A little too perfect.
Maciel, we haven't played any of your tracks yet. Let's play something that you.
All right, on that like jungle-ish kind of tear, you could play Worst Ever Contender by Reset. It's like a UK duo. They've done shit with like Zombie, and it's on Trilogy Tapes, who's done like album cover for like Trilogy Tapes is a record label owned by Will Bankhead, who's done like a shit ton of like album covers during the 90s, like more famously for like I think, who was it? Uncle, I think it was. No, DJ Shadow.
Yeah, Uncle is like Shadow and like Tom. Is it Tom? Was it Tom York? Who else was?
Yeah,
Tom Lavelle from James Lavelle. James Lavelle, that's who it was.
They did my bad. They did a song with Tom York.
Yeah, Rabbit in the Headlights, I think it was.
Yes.
Oh, I love this track actually.
Yeah, you gotta skip a bit though because it's got like a long ass, like 2-minute long intro.
That is fucking soulful.
Yeah, it's probably like one of my favorite tracks of the year so far.
Summer Jams is dope because we got ASAP Rock, we got ASAP Rocky, we got just like the full spectrum of like whatever genre.
Bet we don't have any country though.
No.
Summer Jam 6.
One day.
Do we have like any Spanish like?
Oh, always, dude.
Music.
You got a Dominican Republic guy. And you got, we both listen to a shit ton of reggaeton. And I'm pretty sure that John does too, because he's, like I said earlier, he's like the most flavored.
He's the most seasoned.
He's the most seasoned. He has the most seasoning.
Hey, I got a joke. How much Latin music do I listen to? Hey, reggaeton! I just sprinkled cumin and paprika everywhere.
I don't have any. I didn't put any Hispanic music, but I do have a J-pop song about bananas.
I got
That's close.
Wait, I put a reggaeton. Hold on, let me try to find it.
Oh, did we put any like Korean pop in this?
Time. Well, Jamie.
Yeah, sadly, Jamie is not with us anymore.
Yeah, she's passed.
I mean, no, she's still alive.
Hold on, where's my fucking reggaeton track? Oh, here we go.
Lo que quiero,
That's Munchie. Follow Under is what it's called, the track.
Yeah, he's a great producer.
He's from DR.
Is he?
No, he's actually he's Dutch. He's half Dominican, half Dutch.
Okay,
I
well,
think.
I was half right.
You're half right.
He is from DR. He might be like half Dutch, but he's like...
Yeah, he goes back and forth, I think.
What's that? Double D? R? Dungeons and Dragons?
It's like...
Dominican Republic.
That's D&D, my guy.
He's from the Dance Revolution Island.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
From their own nation.
The DDR Republic. I guess it would be DD Republic, right?
Yeah, DD Republic.
Masio, have you heard of that guy?
Nah, dude.
Does he live down the street from your mom's?
God damn.
You lost your DR card.
I lost that shit long ago.
And obviously some Drake knows all about it for some reason.
Well, Munchie was a Moomathon producer I was into like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, gotcha. Is that still a thing, Moomathon?
I don't know. I kind of grew up a little bit and...
Explain what Moomathon is for like 10 seconds.
Moomathon was a mix of reggaeton and like EDM or like house or whatever. It was supposedly invented by Dave Nada, and I don't know. I liked it at first because it was very Latin. It had a lot of like tribal drums, very bass driven. But then within like a year or two, it became very EDM. It became more like twerky EDM. I don't know. It just kind of got all fucked up. I think
as things do.
Yeah. So I mean, I liked it initially because it was like reggaeton and dancehall, but then it became very mayonnaise and it wasn't that great anymore.
Hey, mayonnaise is dope. Actually, you know, when you said Moomathon, I remember when you were on that a lot because you were posting it a lot, like on Facebook.
Yeah, shit was
fun. It was cool for like 3 years.
No.
Man.
I mean, it's like everything that like it's like EDM, it's reggaeton, so it's like definitely like on the summer jams spectrum for sure.
I thought I saw you put he remixed Lime Wax, and I swear I thought you put that on.
It is on the summer jams playlist that is called 666 Untitled Cracking Chords by Moon also, but he did a remix of Lime Wax. It is probably the hardest song that I've heard this year.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's not this dude, that shit came out like 4 years ago. It's not from this year. I don't think it. I'm not saying it matters. I'm just letting you know that shit came out.
Okay, I think that it got like re-released or something. Then.
Well, I'm actually very shocked to see it on Spotify because it's a bootleg that he did. I don't know that he ever had permission, so maybe he hung out with LimeWows and got it sorted.
Let's play the track. This is like fucking some serious shit right here.
Do it.
Shane, do not drive with this song.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Straight into the wall. Now, if you've never heard the original, you gotta listen to the original after this.
All right.
I love Lime Wax.
I saw Lime Wax at Winter Music Conference. I'm pretty sure you were there also, John. He was in a room that was just like
therapy sessions.
Yeah, therapy sessions. Yeah. So, and it was just when like Lime Wax had. I think he was like definitely underage. He might have been like 17 or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was illegal for him to play that party.
Right.
They gave Dylan, who is a producer from the UK. His label is Freak. Is it Freak Recordings?
Yeah.
He brought out Lime Wax originally, who was kind of like at the time he was like this kind of whiz kid producer, and everybody was pretty hyped on him like back in the day because he was so young and so good. But I don't know if it really did it like materialize into anything really.
I haven't heard anything from him in the last few years, but the sound he kind of like fostered or helped create or whatever, I think Current Value is currently leading in that.
Definitely.
So I think Current Value definitely took that whole pots and pans, hard as nail kind of style and really ran with it a lot further.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. Like I like all kinds of drum and bass like you, and I get annoyed when people say that it's too hard or whatever. Like it's dope.
Yeah,
you know?
it's all dope.
It's very industrial or whatever.
Yes. We need a gif of those like fetish people dancing, doing their dance like the
all of Danny Blood's people, all of Danny Blood's fans and all that.
What are those like cyber goths, and they're like doing their little two-step.
The dances are like really fucking mesmerizing. Goddamn.
I can watch it literally for hours.
Real. I used to do just that actually in Lauderdale years ago. at the green room.
Damn.
Every Friday night with goth night. So like Luz and I and a couple of our buddies, like I think Shane might have been in on that a couple of times. I'm not sure. We were just like
don't bring my name into this.
Hey man, I don't remember.
No man, we'd stand like we'd stand on the second floor, like just looking down at the golf.
Okay.
Over and over again.
Okay, yeah, I remember. I thought you were talking like we dressed up like that, and we went through and did that.
Come on, man. I got two left. I got two left feet. I can't dance for shit.
Were you guys wearing V-necks when you went to the golf club? Were they black V-necks?
No, we didn't dress up.
No,
we were upstairs. The golf stuff was happening downstairs.
Yeah, they were wearing like the latest Hot Topic couture from like 5 years ago. Like 5 years before.
Damn.
Hottest topic.
That is some soulful sounds right there by Ivy Lab. That's off their new album called Death Don't Always Taste Good.
Not usually.
Sometimes.
I mean, I eat animals that are dead, so.
And are they delicious? I wouldn't know.
Most of the time. Oh, I remember you eating chicken. Come on. I remember.
No, never happened.
Carlos, wait, never mind. I'm not going to start telling these stories. But anyways, I've seen him eat a chicken sandwich.
I've been a vegan for a while now, but at one point I did have my birthday party at Mary's Coin Laundry. We all had pan con bistec sandwiches.
Yep.
John, I don't think you were there for that night.
I don't think I was either. I remember that. I probably had other engagements.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was busy. I had a salad waiting for me at home. I couldn't wait to bite into.
I'm not sure if that was a euphemism or what. It's funny because you added that song to our playlist, and I also added the same song. We were both on the same wavelength there. I switched mine to a different Ivy Lab song that's off the same album though.
Right.
A dope track called Calculate.
Well, I felt like the other one was more summery. Like I could be on the beach,
What type of music would you classify? John, what type of music is that?
To a nerd, I would say it's halftime, which is short for halftime drum and bass. But to somebody removed from it, they would never think that was drum and bass or even know what drum and bass is. Yeah, I mean, I would just say to an average person, oh, it's hip hop, whatever. Sure. It's just beats.
Like that trip hop?
Kind of not really.
Okay.
Trip hop requires a sultry female vocal.
Oh, does it?
Like Portishead or Massive Attack. I don't like Tricky, so I don't count it.
There's like countless examples that contradict that, but okay.
I mean, whatever. I'm just saying. But yeah, their stuff is really dope.
You and Maciel now have to battle because Tricky is like Mas' like dude.
I'm sorry.
I love Tricky. It's all right.
Something that we do every single Summer Jams podcast is we feature a song from the Canadian group. Speaking of, a lot of Canadian action going on the Summer Jams 5. We talked for like 75 minutes about Drake and
pretty much the whole podcast.
So we always do a song from Bad Bad Not Good, and Shane, you're pretty much the curator of that segment.
On today's segment of Bad Bad Not Good.
Oh no, John, have you ever listened to them?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of
They're
course.
a jazz band that rappers rap over sometimes.
Correct.
That has happened.
I used to stand on the rock of Gibraltar. Father told me I faltered, picking fights with my pops. He asked forgiveness a lot, but I don't need God's forgiveness. Can I give me a witness? I could cry, but I gotta pick my battles tonight.
Pretty good, pretty smooth.
Pretty smooth.
Shit's wavy as fuck.
Yeah, I feel like they have no business being that soulful.
Yeah.
No, I recently, I'm hella late. I know I'm late as fuck, but I recently watched La La Land, which is also about jazz.
Never saw it.
Oh, it's like a white guy that's like, I'm gonna bring back jazz.
Seem too precious to me.
Yeah, and so maybe it's like, yeah, I'm like kind of hating, but those dudes deserve all the accolades that they get. They're class.
Is it the fact that they're white?
Yes.
And okay. All right.
It's an appropriation happening that I don't necessarily am into. But obviously, like that's like there's exceptions to that shit, and I think that they are the exception.
Yeah, because I mean, is it appropriation? Are they just like, all right, we're white and we're gonna do this? Or
I think that's what appropriation is.
No, what I'm saying, is it really so much that, or is it that it's just like, yo, I like this fucking music, and
I mean, it's both.
I mean, what are they supposed to play, Carlos, being white? Canadian rock? Nickelback?
I'm just salty because Ryan Gosling was like, yo, I'm gonna bring hip jazz back.
I've never even heard of that movie. What is it called? La La Land?
Yeah,
La La Land.
It's basically just like, precious like kids singing and song and dance.
It's a musical, yeah.
It's a musical where
oh, it's
this
a musical.
guy
No,
is.
I've seen it. Ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I got a quick question though. Did Ryan Gosling play Ryan Gosling in that movie?
Yes.
My name is Guyan Rosling. I'm a Canadian jazz promoter.
Guyan Rosling. Nobody will figure that out. It's too cryptic. Do you have something that you want to talk about, John, that you put on here? Because I'm looking.
Well, I mean, okay, so one track that I added was actually very old.
That's fine.
Probably the oldest thing, and that's the Mad City track from Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, for sure.
And I specifically added that because I remember a few years ago you gave me a zip with a couple of albums in it, and one of them was this album. And it was a second album. I think it might have been Schoolboy Q or something else. Do you remember that?
No, but
God, for someone that doesn't partake in things, I partake, really terrible. And it's a good thing you stopped eating meat so long ago, or your memory was even worse. Anyway, so yeah, you gave me a copy of this album. I think I was still living in Hollywood, so it was probably like 8 or 9 years ago. And I didn't really listen to it very much. And I wanted to apologize because I listen to it a lot now. Kendrick Lamar has become one of my favorites.
For sure.
And then I was at a music festival about 5 years ago, and Schoolboy Q was performing. And I was like, oh, this is good. Carlos gave me this, and I didn't listen to it. So I just wanted to point out that you're always ahead of the curve,
No, that's how I feel about you, to be honest.
Aw, but you don't remember.
But thank you. Like, I'll take that. It might be a West Coast thing because I'm like, even though I lived in Florida for a long time, like my roots are originally West Coastian. Obviously Kendrick now is like the biggest rapper, but even back then.
Yeah, it's like when you went to Mecca in 2006 and brought dubstep back from the motherland. All those stories of the caving in roofs and the gun fingers and the prophecy became true. You brought the story here, and the story became the vision, and it happened.
Okay, so I kind of forgot all about that story. What John is talking about is like I went to LA for a visit. And I ran into some people that I knew from back in the day, back when I used to live out in the West Coast. They were like, yo, you got to come to this party next week or whatever. It's like, or next Tuesday, I think it was. They gave me some like sketch ass address that was like in the middle of like Skid Row, like downtown LA. Like there was a password involved. Like I had to know something like a riddle. I had to solve a riddle. And anyways, I finally got in and it was Pure Filth, which was like basically brand new at the time. It was like dubstep in America, which had only been really played out in the UK at the time.
Right.
And this is pre-Low End Theory by a number of years too.
Yeah.
Like pre-Low End Theory.
This is, I want to say it was 2006 or 2007, something like that.
I want to say it was 2006 because in February was when I started doing the party at Roxanne's, and you had come back a couple months before that. So I wanted to say, I would bet it was like early 2007, late 2006.
Yeah, and I got to experience like dubstep really for the first time, and in this like kind of this crazy sound system that Sam put together, Sam XL in LA. It was a dope system, and I came back to Miami, and I was just like, yo. There's this thing called dubstep. And then of course like Laundry Bar and all of that shit happened after that.
Well, I think you were the first person to say it aside from me. Like in my circle was me and Edon Trigon,
Yeah.
who used to be called Anubis. He was the first person that knew about it besides me. And you were the first one besides him that was like, yeah, this is good. And everyone else was like, oh, it's a trend, it's a phase, it'll pass, blah, blah. You know, here we are 11, 12 years later.
Yeah. It's gone up and down and still around.
Left, right.
Yeah. I mean,
well, it's evolved a lot. I mean, it's just evolved and it's become a part of every single type of music at this point. You could even listen to country and find really shitty dubstep elements.
Yeah.
Confidently I conquer our continents with testaments to test the best defense testify. I and I ride against the grain, generating superhuman strength to execute the insolent. It's evident these incidents are by no means accidental. My sentiments remain central. So dark is my mood and mental, decapitating those who dare desecrate my tempo, vengeful over instrumentals, infantile intellectuals.
If you're an MC in the UK, I'm surprised that you haven't done time yet. You're not doing like 25 to life somehow.
That's smooth.
That's off of Deep Medi Records, which is of course Mala's record label.
DMZ.
Probably one of the best. Still to this day, one of the all-time best parties. John was Mala and Scream at Laundry Bar.
Oh yeah,
September 17th, 2007.
When it really kind of I mean, you had a night before that was featuring dubstep, but that was kind of really when it got like.
Because wait, did you go that night back?
Count, you know?
That night you went back to back with Juan, right?
Me? No, I believe I actually opened, and I recall it was my first gig ever. And I opened, thankfully.
Thankfully.
No, but it was a great night. Like I had at one point, you guys remember those little LG NV phones? Remember LG NV?
No.
Those tiny little phones? Whatever. It was a long time ago.
There was something before iPhones?
But anyways, I had a video of Scream dancing to one of my songs. And it was very, I'd watch it before I went to bed and kind of put the phone and
So
go.
Scream, you talking about Scream?
Yes, Oliver.
Okay,
Scream, Oliver. Yeah, Oliver, bro.
Okay. He was dancing to one of your songs?
And I had a video, and I don't know what happened to it, but it was the height of my career.
Damn. Yo, if anybody has that video, send it to artschoolrejectspod@gmail.com.
Also, Oliver, if you're listening, you can take a video of yourself dancing to one of my songs. That'll also work.
It has to be on like a shitty flip phone, though.
Yeah. But it was a good moment for me because there was literally nobody else there at that point except him dancing with his red stripe or whatever. So it was pretty cool.
Yes. Hooray for beer.
Hooray, beer.
Hooray, beer.
Yeah, shout out to dubstep. And its offspring. Its offspring. Is grime, what's grime like related?
Grime kind of predates John, keep me honest here, but I feel like grime kind of maybe predates it a bit.
Yeah, grime was one of the grime and garage are the precursors to dubstep.
Uh-huh.
Which of course come from jungle.
Yeah.
So they're all like the bastard children of jungle, really. When
House
jungle.
Never forget.
But yeah, the first dubstep I was hearing was grime mixes with a little bit of like dubstep breakdowns. And I think the first dubstep I heard was Paul Rose Dubstep Breaks Mix 2005, which he later became Scuba, who makes techno or whatever now.
Oh shit.
Ross Clark the some sound boy.
Rick, hold on.
Yeah. Me and the warlord. How when me sipping on the place, them can't talk. Me turn evil, come me have a dog. Shot in your blood clot back, make you can't walk. You see the gun, me a roll.
This is on our playlist?
My wall never stall or call off. Shotgun easy, we carry them son off.
I love the original, I haven't listened to it.
Me no skin teeth. No boy, you got that when the thing beat. Man get chopped in a one like me. Me chop them up fine. Babylon can't charge me for my crime. Because the gun in a me on them can't find. You get shot in a head from the carbine. And you were dead like your girlfriend last time.
Everybody's dead now.
Last time.
Yeah, everybody's dead now.
Damn.
Rico Dan killed him. That was Pinch and Moom Dance.
Mum Dance.
Nice.
Big Mumsy.
Obviously.
Yeah, the grimy John Peel. The grimy Jeff Mills.
Yes. Also, shout out to our favorite MC here on the Summer Jams.
Jamie, what type of Jamie? Redknapp Jamie, Meridian Jamie, BBK Jamie, Matic Shockman like Jamie.
Shout out to Jamie and also Jamie, who is a regular on the podcast but is not here today.
Oh, what's up, Jamie?
We're thinking about you, Jamie.
Jamie!
Always.
Obviously, that shit is a banger. But I wanted to play this one. This is called Something Else, and I wanted to hear your kind of takes on it.
I used to whip it, but it's slow like snow. And I did it by myself, only. No one helped me, I'ma come up, man, I did it one up, yeah. I'm in the studio, I just, run up a jam and I go get money. I get a check and I give it to mommy. Man, I swear this life is funny. I'm up in the studio 24 hours. Last time I checked, that's where it was sunny.
I think we'll Summer Jam 3 or 4, we played some basically like reggaeton that has been like inspired by this new wave of rap, which is like Thugger and like Yachty.
Trap.
It's called new wave.
Yeah, it's I don't know what it is. Mumble
rap, trap rap. It's not trap anymore.
Yeah, so now there's like reggaeton that sounds like that, like Bad Bunny and El Alpha, like those guys, right? Which by the way, Maciel, you dropped on the Summer Jams back in the day, and then now like Bad Bunny is like fucking massive now, which is hilarious.
Yeah, dude.
Definitely, you were the first dude that was schooling me on that, though.
I thought he was Dominican too. Motherfucker's Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought he was Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Bad Bunny. Like, because first time I heard Bad Bunny was like on a track by this Dominican dude at Alpha, and like his whole cadence is kind of like Dominican sounding, and then all of a sudden like everybody's like, no, dude, he's Puerto Rican. I'm like, what?
Well,
I'm like, all right.
Well, El Alpha's Dominican, so we played like that one song with him and Alpha, so he's but Bad Bunny's Puerto Rican. But anyways, either way, those dudes were inspired obviously by, Future is like the daddy of that style. Yeah. But now it's like, now I'm hearing this dude Young Fume, and it's Young YUNG Fume, FUME, and there's like grime now that sounds like that, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's been going on for at least like a good like year or two, where there's been like some like cross pollination going on.
Yeah,
or at least more so like in the UK anyway than here. Like I don't think people are too like into grime down here.
No, but we're an international podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
This is for the world. We're like Pitbull.
It's a worldwide.
We started in 305, but we're Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
We're 305 till we die, but then we turn into Mr. Worldwide. Thank you. Yeah, Young Fume, Grime MC, that kind of sounds a little bit like Yachty. Like we said, Future is like pretty much like the granddaddy of that style. And
it's like the way everything's moving.
We talked at length on the podcast about Black Panther the movie, but we didn't really get into the soundtrack. Shane, you added this classic by Kendrick, and Future's verse is, as Maciel said, one of the top 5 moments of the year. If anybody hasn't heard it, which I'm sure by this point has,
it's just a classic. I don't give a fuck.
Slide on me now. Pass me some syrup. Put me in the car. Motherfucker law. GD bang. Murder everything.
That's definitely the best part of the song.
Shout out to Future for just being like the most.
You just lost it. First time I heard that shit, I had to like pause it. I'm like, did that just really happen?
I always hear it when I'm in my car because I don't have a Bluetooth anymore because it broke. So I listen to the radio and I skim around, and when that comes on, I used to laugh, but I hear different levels to it now. Like there's some emotion to it. It's like there's a lot of pain in that. That's a very sore throat.
I'm glad you said that because like when
shouts out to Close Up.
When I hear like that sound, that's what I hear. Like I also hear like the stress in it, especially when it's Thugger. To be honest, Young Thug, like he really kind of puts a lot of emotion into kind of like a weird kind of awkward noises.
Well, think about like if ODB had a normal voice, right? If he wasn't like smoking crack and chugging quartz and shit, like it would have been kind of boring,
I can tell you're from Florida because you called them quartz and not 40s.
Quartz? Shut up. No, we're only allowed 32 ounces at a time over here. That extra 8 just puts us over the edge, dude. I'm clearly from Florida, all right? I'm complaining about beetles and quartz and shit.
Florida man.
Florida man
Yes.
calls them courts.
Has anybody heard? Has anybody watched the new season of Atlanta?
I am.
No.
Okay, there's the first episode of this new season goes. It's like all about Florida Man and how Florida Man is like one man, and it's actually like but it's like a conspiracy. Like Florida Man is basically does all of the stuff that he does, like like kidnapping a crocodile and putting him in the backseat and then like driving it off a bridge and then like
smokes fake weed and bites someone face off.
I'm like pretty sure that this is all John. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, no. That theory in Atlanta came out of the mind of Darius, which is one of my favorite characters in all of media right now. Currently,
the other characters is shit.
Played by the great Lakeith Stanfield, who's actually going to be. This is great. I love how everything is connected. But he's going to be in a movie coming up shortly called "Sorry to Bother You."
Yep.
And it's directed by the lead singer of The Coop, whose name is Boots Riley, who is a legendary Bay Area underground rapper. And the cool thing about Boots is that I actually see him all the time here in Oakland.
That's
We go to the same coffee shop, Farley's East, local coffee shop. And I remember like years ago when I moved back to Oakland, I saw him just chilling at Farley's, and I couldn't understand how there wasn't like a mob of people like surrounding him. I was like, bro, you did music with Tupac Shakur and you're just sitting here in front of me like drinking a coffee. He was so appreciative. And then I see him now all the time, but we must live in like the same neighborhood. I didn't know though that he was like directing like this movie.
Yeah, the movie looks fucking fire, dude.
It looks fire. So we'll have to watch the movie and come back and talk about it.
Yeah.
But Lakeith is on Atlanta. Donald Glover recently put out a very what did you say, controversial song?
I think the video for people is more controversial than the song.
And I wouldn't even call it like controversial. It's more than it is like poignant.
This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now.
It's funny is that like everybody's has been making this big deal out of the video, and rightfully so, because the video is amazing. You have to watch it like 67 times just to catch everything.
Yeah.
But I've actually found myself recently just kind of listening to the song on Spotify. Like, yes, the video is amazing, but the song is now a little bit maybe underrated.
Yeah, I had a few days in a row. Like, I remember it came out on a Sunday, and probably through Thursday, I played it twice in a row as soon as I woke up. It just got in my head. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
and it's like not without the video involved. Like, you're just.
Oh yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I mean, from a production standpoint, the beat is just amazing. Like the progression from vibrant, summery to dark and disturbing and back and forth is just amazing, and it works perfectly. I think.
That's your expert opinion.
Man, I can't help it. All right.
No, that's good, man. That's awesome.
I think about it a lot. You know.
John's gonna write a dissertation on it.
I mean,
academically speaking, it is.
John, thank you for breaking it down that way. Because what I was going to say next is the song sounds exactly like an okay like song, you know, that you can like just jam out to and whatever. But because of the video, you see so much more in the actual song.
Exactly.
And I think that's what, like, you know, that was reason why he put the video out before releasing the song, because if the song came out, everybody would be like, all right, well, this is Donald Trump. I mean, not Donald Trump, sorry.
Donald Trump.
The other Donald.
I spit hot beats. Nobody can touch this.
But no, I mean, like
MCs.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely needs the video. Imagine watching Michael Jackson's Thriller or Beat It without the video.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's a good song, but the video like always the video helps elevate it.
Because then you like if you start like just listening to Michael Jackson's lyrics and you're like,
jam on it.
He's a vegetable? What are you vegetable? I'm a vegetable. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't understand this that part. What is it? What do you mean by
no.
Yeah.
But
no, the song's beautiful, man. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Michael Jackson, the only thing I can think of with Donald Glover is please don't do anything fucking stupid.
Yeah,
And
don't
the next
ruin
couple
it.
of years, like please, we need it.
Well,
need it really bad.
that's the thing, because now that Kanye has fell out of like, we're looking for somebody to like be like. Well, Donald Glover has like, he's kind of now this person that everybody is looking at, like, please lead us, like, please lead us.
Everybody literally looked at him, but the timing was impeccable for both of them to do what they did. Like it was basically planned out. It had to have been planned out to some degree.
You think so?
I kind of think so.
Like the whole Florida Man thing. Like, this is all. I love when we get into like conspiracy theories.
No, dude, but seriously, I have one very important thing to tell Donald Glover, and it's just one word: consent, 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 consent.
Yeah, right.
Don't let us see you fall like that, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to finally somebody doing something about Weinstein and him getting what he's gonna get.
He got arrested.
Man,
I'm so happy
he's been
to hear.
formally charged.
Yeah, that dude needs to be put away forever.
I mean, yeah.
Speaking of Kanye,
scoop-de poop.
Huh?
Scoop-de poop.
Huh?
Shane, you are
scoop-de poop.
What?
Our Kanye connoisseur or avatar or
you can say that.
Yeah, Kanye tour.
That's a good one.
How have you guys never said that before?
Look at my rollie. Look at your rollie. Your shit rockless. My shit hockey goalie. You should go and hide it. Man, it's too bad. Like a ball nigga still wearing do-rags. Israeli guards, boy, please be mindful. Don't have words with me cause I got a mindful. I could tell Larry David was the mind behind Seinfeld. Wanna know how I feel? Step into my minefield. Wanna know how pain feels? I got off my main pills. Bet my wifey stay close. She know I'm on my base.
We can all agree he's lost his mind.
Yep.
Kanye, nah.
Nah, I don't think Kanye's lost his mind.
I mean, he dropped like the hottest verse he could ever drop. Fucking poopity scoop. This shit's a modern classic.
Yep.
I'm not sure if you're.
I have a quick story about this. One of my students in class the other day, because I teach music production, was like, "Oh, you should do an edit of Scooby-Doo Papa," and I thought he said Scoopity Whoopity or whatever, right? Yeah. And I'm not even joking. I hadn't heard the song yet. I was like, "Okay, this is a good time for me to look at the song." So he said Scooby-Doo Papa. I looked it up, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this isn't Kanye." So. Long story short, there's a song currently called Scooby-Doo Papa.
That shit's so cringy.
It's really bad. It's only a kick and a snare and a guy saying Scooby-Doo Papa. But I imagine it mixes really well with Scoopity Whoopity, or I don't know. But you can't even find a copy of that song now. The Scoopity Whoopity song.
Uh-huh.
What, the Kanye one?
Yeah, I tried to find it because I was doing a class and I was going to use it.
It's Lift Yourself.
I think it's on Spotify, I think.
Oh, I was looking for Scoopity Whoopity.
No, it's Lift Yourself. Yeah. He actually named it and everything.
I have one last thing that I want to really talk about.
Okay, let's do it.
It'd be really quick. It really goes back to the whole Kendrick Lamar thing that recently happened.
Yes.
And when he brought a fan up on stage.
Mayonnaise.
And,
mayonnaise.
And certain things happened.
Certain
because
things
of that.
He said the N-word like 17 times in front of like 10,000 people.
Right.
So I mean, that's not funny, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's not funny, but it's funny because
it's funny. I think even Kendrick was laughing. He thought it was funny.
I think he said "this bitch" and then took a really loud breath and then laughed a lot.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he said that. Did he?
He was like, he was cracking up. It's like one of those laughs where he was laughing, but he doesn't. But you shouldn't be laughing.
You can't stop the show and be like, "Hey,
yeah,
that's the lyric, but you can't say it."
Well, he did. He did though.
Oh, never mind.
He was like, "Wait." He's like, "Hold on, let me stop it. I'm gonna give you a chance again now. Like, this is a do-over."
Yeah, you just can't say one word. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. And she started getting booed by everybody, and then he was like, "Well, I have to take some action now," because the crowd was against her. What was I can give you my take on it.
My point is, like, how do you guys feel about that? Because it's obviously
okay. There's a white person in the on the podcast.
Oh, not even because of that, man, but like just because it is about music, and
for sure,
this is a podcast that we're having on it. I mean, for me, I know how I definitely feel.
How do you
about
feel?
it. And like it's a weird fucking thing, man. It's so weird because we live in the times where, to kind of call back how you kind of feel about white kids making really awesome jazz, like, are they appropriating it, or if they really truly love
Well, both can be
the
true.
music, and this is just what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, in this case, is she a fan of the song? And, like, obviously, like, this is how the song is written,
Mm-hmm.
is sung this way. So she's just singing along with the same energy that he would have done it.
But it's also problematic. Like it both can be true. Like I think that, like, obviously she's at a Kendrick Lamar concert, so she's not like a horrible racist or whatever, like, I don't believe that she is. I think that she's truly a huge fan. But also at the same time, like, you can't just go in front of thousands of people and just start saying the N-word. Like, no matter what context, like in any context, like there's no way that you could trick me into doing that. Like you can't like set me up like by bringing like like, I know that, like, there's just not an appropriate thing to do, especially.
I would not have fallen for it because I don't use that word ever in my life because I had a very racist grandfather and it made me disgusted of my, he was from North Carolina and, things were different back then and all that bullshit.
Part of the chorus kind of shit, yeah.
Yeah, right. But growing up in South Florida, I would go to schools that were 80% black and 15% Latin and 5% white in certain times. So I learned immediately what, was appropriate and not appropriate. And maybe this girl simply has not been exposed to many people that are not her shade of skin and just didn't know any better. And it's stupid, but this is the kind of conversation we should be having. And, maybe not taking crazy seriously like on Facebook and getting offended at each other, but having a discussion person to person or podcast to podcast in this case.
Yeah. I don't think that, like, people should go after her.
Oh no.
I like all right, like, that was not smart, but also at the same time, like, I don't believe that she's like this like terrible person.
Yeah, I mean, she's at a fucking Kendrick Lamar show. Come on.
Yeah, you're at a Kendrick. I mean, but then also, like, you should, kind of come
of
on.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. No, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, she's not exactly like, I don't believe she would be a racist person because she's at a fucking Kendrick Lamar show on stage.
Yeah.
But she needs, she should have been a little smarter about the whole thing, and
Yeah, she's just young and probably doesn't have a very diverse range of friends, and feels like it's okay. This is the time and place to say it, or maybe didn't even think about it. Maybe she's never even said it before, or maybe she says it all the time because it's the lyric to the song.
And I mean, but it is also, you got to think about it as well. It's that it is the times that we live in where, and I always say this because I hang around a lot of younger kids, and like, I hear nearly everybody say it, and it's really become that word that, everyone's really grown up on, like, hip hop and whatever. So it's just kind of like that word that, instead of saying man, it's that type of word.
It's because you hear that, like, in like privacy of like your group or whatever. And so, like, they obviously feel that they have like a pass or whatever to say it, like, around you,
100%.
Around you specifically, and around like other people of color who have kind of let them feel like it's okay. And if it's just y'all, but then what my fear is that, like, those kids are going to come to Oakland over here and are going to still have that mentality, and they're going to get a rude awakening.
What was that movie, Malibu's Finest?
Malibu's Most Wanted.
Malibu's Most Wanted. There you go.
Jamie Kennedy.
Point, right there.
He would never say the word, though.
Well, I'm saying he thought he had the hood pass, and it was some actors that were pretending like they had the hood pass.
Yeah.
Right.
I think a lot of the time that happens. Like, I've been told, oh, you're an honorary this, you're an honorary that. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really care. I'm just a person. I don't have to identify with some sort of racial background, but thank you for my seasoning pass or whatever.
Your qualification. You get the 24 season pass.
But I will never, ever say that word because I recognize that it is hateful and it represents things that are terrible, that maybe it's my own white guilt knowing my family's background or whatever. But to me, I just don't feel the need. I have a million other things I could say.
My favorite's always like, oh, but they say, why can't I?
Oh, God.
Right.
Like,
You're in the clan if that's how you feel.
Really, dude?
Well, I mean,
I'm trying to think of the inverse of the situation where you would have some sort of quote unquote white music where someone not white is singing
Well,
along.
I mean, like me, like I was a huge metal fan, and like one of my favorite dudes, like in my early 20s, was like this dude Burzum, from Norway, and like the dude's like insanely fucking racist, like super anti-Semitic, but like I like the dude's music. It's like, granted, there was nothing.
We don't even have to go that deep. I mean, Morrissey is like a horrible racist. And people still, you know, what's funny is that in my community, the Hispanic community, there's a lot of like brown kids that love the Smiths and love Morrissey. It's like crazy. It's like, I don't know what the phenomenon is, but there's like a lot of like kind of emo, like Hispanic kids.
I can explain that really quickly. So no joke. So as cassettes and CDs traveled through the world, they were kind of delayed and trickled down from the United States throughout the entire world. So some countries, when I was in high school, were just getting hair metal cassettes and hair metal records. And these kids were coming from Peru, Venezuela, you name it. And they were like, bro, I just heard of this band, Motley Crue.
Poison.
And I'm like, yo, that shit sucks. I listen to punk. That is garbage. But these kids were all about it. And then they discovered grunge in the year 2000, you know? So like, it's interesting though, because you see these communities and these things pop up. Like Mexico has probably the biggest punk rock thing going on right now.
For sure.
And it's just delayed in a way. And maybe it's more appropriate for them because we've already kind of gone through it.
But there's definitely some truth to that, John. I think that like it's weird that like Russia is like all about drum and bass and it's like 2018. It's like,
well, and there's also, even within that, there's a lot of those people that are very racist and anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Even though it's drum and bass, which was literally created by black people from England and Jamaica. It kind of, it's like square dancing. It's like the video I saw the other day explaining the racism behind square dancing, or I don't know. There's so many different ways to go about it, but
that is crazy.
Google Henry Ford square dancing. Henry Ford square dancing. Well, he was afraid of white people listening to jazz, and he was trying to get them back to their quote unquote roots. Of course, square dancing was ultimately invented by slaves. So no matter what you do, it all goes back to the same thing. So it's kind of pointless to say that there's a superior kind of music or a race or whatever. It's just stupid and insane, in my opinion.
Yeah.
For sure.
Man, I mean, everybody knows like Asians have the most superior race.
That's canonical.
On that note,
thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
So we had a hell of a show. Just wanted to say thank you, John, for coming on the show, and hopefully you come back again.
Yes.
And we could talk more music, or we could talk not just anything. Yeah, whatever.
We just have you back on the show.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Much appreciate. Thank Maciel, our school rejects music correspondent, senior music correspondent. Sorry, I didn't mean to demote you to like this intern.
Just some regular ass fucking intern.
Senior music correspondent joining us from the DR.
Always a pleasure.
Dominican Republic.
I mean, I live in Little Havana, so it's close enough.
Hey, Carlos, thank you.
Yo, live from Oakland.
You did it.
Thanks, guys. It's been fun.
It's been emotional.
Yeah.
One last sound.
When off the pod, you're gonna have to send me all these drops.
Yeah, 100%.
Send me like a little, shoot me the zip, bro. Like I gave you a zip back in the day of like Schoolboy Q or whatever. Like it's time. The roosters have come home to whatever. My hens have like I don't know. Never mind. I was trying to think of a saying.
Something.
Yeah.
Something has come
to
back.
roost. I don't know.
You know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
The birds are home and they're laying eggs.
Yeah, that's not a saying, but thanks.
Crossing the road.
We can make it. It is now. It's a saying now.
We got chickens all over Miami.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did you know they're not even legal in Miami?
Really?
As long as you don't eat them, it's fine.
We're moving to Broward specifically for that. We got a chicken coop for our wedding.
Nice.
Oh, for real?
That's very Florida, isn't it? I guess more Miami. But anyways,
I
gotta
never
go.
said congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Oh,
I
my
never.
congratulations.
Yo, I am
And-
such a terrible friend. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
First of all, I apologize. It was lovely that you guys tied the knot, and I'm very happy for you
Thank you. I appreciate it.
both from the bottom of my heart. I know, John, you gotta go. We're gonna stay on and do some housekeeping, some talk about our Patreon and shit. So you don't have to stay here for that. But
for everybody else, you could definitely hit us up on patreon.com/the Art School Rejects. You can pledge $1, you can pledge $3, you can pledge whatever you got. You'll get access to bonus content. We'll send you some stickers.
Yeah.
Pretty much that'll allow us to keep making these shows for y'all. So definitely check that out. You can also subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and social medias or whatever. Buenas noches a todos.
Okay.
Peace out. Have a good night.
Bye.
Get on safe.
Catch you lot later.
Take care, Mas.
Later, man.